But
Absence makes the heart grow fonder, dude.
I suppose.
I was talking to someone about that. I don't remember who I was talking to, but I was like, yeah, absence makes the heart grow fonder. I was like, they should really follow that up, because like we've seen what, the absence of absence can do, right? So I think it should be absence makes the heart grow fonder, but most crimes of passion are committed by people close to you. You know what I mean? Like most
Goddamn.
of heinous murders are
Okay.
people the people that could have used a little more absence, So like
Yeah.
no, just know how to strike the balance.
I took a lease out on your heart. I took a lease out on your heart. Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun? Can I at least have fun?
Welcome back, everybody. We are Rough Research. You are the audience, and together we are on a quest for Dynasty Domination. How's it going over there, boys?
It's going great. Glad to be here. Glad to be
Glad
back, boys.
glad to have you back. It's always nice when the original squad is back together for sure.
The
The
OGs.
OG squadron. Doing good, gentlemen. Glad to be here. Glad to see you guys' beautiful faces.
Mm.
hmm It's a great day. And it's a great day to talk about the Elite Eight of the Dynasty rookie bracket. We are on the home stretch, ladies and gentlemen, wrapping up our yearly tournament, and we only have two more episodes left, and we're getting into the nitty gritty. So, I mean, without further ado, let's go head down south and talk
So
about our Southern Championship.
oh
Uh,
god.
We've got the number one seed, KC Concepcion, wide receiver out of Texas A&M, going up against the number two seed, Jeremy Bernard, wide receiver out of Alabama. Um, I know you guys are pretty big Jeremy Bernard fans, so we can kick the conversation off with him if you want.
Yeah. Well,
You
I
knew that
definitely
about
think
us?
he
All
think
right.
he definitely loses, unfortunately. But I love this guy, man. I think there was a message to Daniel where I said when he runs, he's like floating on clouds.
Mm,
I just think he just he's a polished route runner. He
mm,
does all the dirty work. I mean, I just think he's if you're looking at a guy who's going to come out just producing at an NFL level, I can see that happening. I don't see him to be like an alpha one or anything, but I can just really see him in today's NFL where a number two can really shine, and I think this is the guy.
yeah, I feel you there. I mean, I think that's kind of what made him lose this matchup to me, though. Is like I can see KC now. Admittedly, I'm pretty high on KC, but as like a potential one. I mean, this class isn't full of like true alphas, so that there's like a few guys that I think have that outside upside to be a one in an offense, and I think Casey is one of them. But I'm with you. I think in terms of fantasy, Bernard will sit more in the like wide receiver three flex range. To me, I just don't think he's going to get the workload to really be a strong two necessarily. But I think he's a great two at the
Oof.
NFL level. Like,
Right.
he's going to produce for you. I just don't know if it's ever going to be like that crazy, astounding production. But I mean, he's incredibly consistent, and whatever quarterback gets him is going to love him. I mean, only four drops on 232 targets throughout college. He has like that knack for being exactly where he's supposed to be at all times and where he needs to be. And he does a good job of like the subtle route running, in my opinion. It's not like these crazy moves or anything. There's like this nice sideline catch he had against Florida State where he's just like cutting up deep field, and he kind of just like lulled the defender to sleep, just the way he was moving. And then the Ty Simpson, which this was a nice read and ball from Ty Simpson for the record, but he kind of like
One of the few.
Yeah, one of the few. He like floated it to him over the sideline, and Bernard just like tracked it very smoothly and like ended up coming down with it right on the sideline. Like
Smooth, baby.
he does really, really safe, consistent things that a quarterback is gonna love. I just don't know that it'll ever be like game changing.
I think
Personally.
that it's a combination of what the both of you had said here. It's a beautiful thing. The thing with this matchup with Jeremy Bernard and Casey Concepcion, I think the thing that made this the most difficult, one of the more difficult matchups, is that these two have the most direct path to like remaining who they are
Mm,
in college. Like the
Mm.
rest of these guys, so let's just get it out there. We're at the Elite Eight. Seven of these guys are wide receivers.
yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah.
we're really at the Elite Seven because this is just how it's going to be. So, of all these guys, you got Lemon, great,
Hmm.
sure. Ted Hurst, we're all like scribbling good quarterback plus Ted Hurst equals question mark, question mark, question mark.
Mm.
Cornell Tate, number one, sure, maybe. I don't know. He wasn't number one on his own team, but he's number one in this draft class. That's fine. That's fine. Then you got
Shots.
Jordan Tyson. Don't even get me started. And
Mm.
Zachariah Branch, we'll get there. But these two guys, what we've seen out of them in college applies to who they will likely be at the
Hmm.
next level. So they're more comfortable for me to project without risk. So
Hmm.
that's why I got pretty excited about both these players. For Bernard, if you look at these final seven wide receivers, he played 53 games in his college career. The next highest number is Cornell Tate with 39.
Oh
Yet
well.
the yardage production is comparable
Hmm.
to the rest of these guys that are in their their mid 30s with 2,200 yards total and 13 scores, which is a number that's comparable to Tate and Lemon, who are in the 30s. Meanwhile, he's over here getting 1.7 yard per route run. So typically that's a number we want to see on the high end because it means
Hmm.
you're a dynamic playmaker, high efficiency, big play potential. But Bernard is a guy who was out there for 508 snaps compared to Ty Simpson's 572. So this is
Hmm.
a guy that was on the field no matter what was happening. And because of that, he got more opportunity to get targeted. He only had a 62% catch rate, only one drop on the year. He didn't have premium targets. I think this is a player that it could be a very, very handsome number two wide receiver and get
Hmm.
just 8 targets a game on pop games, 4 targets a game as a floor. And
Hmm.
what he does with it is pretty spectacular because he's rocking, 6.2 yards after the catch per reception. So I think that he's a player to be excited about. That's all I'm saying. I like him too.
Yeah, yeah, I wouldn't take anything away from what you said at all. Yeah, that four target floor. I do think his floor is fairly gonna be consistent for you. I just if I'm going into the fantasy season with him as my second best wide receiver, I'm gonna
Right.
feel a little sketchy about it.
For
But
sure.
Right.
if I go into the NFL and he's my number two wide receiver, I'm gonna feel great. Like it's just a
Sure
bit of a
enough.
difference there. But I'm completely with you, man. He is such a solid, great, just all around receiver that whatever team gets him is really going to be able to utilize him and probably pretty quickly as well. Like he's not going to need to develop much. I just don't know that his development will go much farther than that. I
For
guess
sure.
Yeah.
that's my whole thing with him. Whereas,
Yeah. He
Yeah.
needs a strong one on the team for sure to shine.
yeah, I think so too. And Concepcion may fall, like his floor might fall out from under him or whatever, but I think the ceiling on him is a lot higher, potentially.
For sure. I mean, first round talent
Yeah.
without a doubt. Whereas Bernard, no,
Yeah.
definitely not.
Yeah.
So I feel you.
Alrighty, so Casey Concepcion takes the Southern Championship trophy with him onto the Final Four. And Jeremy Bernard, great tournament, but you are done as a Southern semifinalist. So let's move over to the West now. talk about the West final, another 1 and 2 seed matchup. We've got the number 1 seed Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State, going up against the number 2 seed Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. And Jordan Tyson, sorry for misspelling your name wrong this entire tournament.
Two
Instead of the
Y's.
the Y, yeah. I got the little A hanging out there for this entire time, but I got it fixed. We're good. Sorry about that.
Mm.
But
Jordan.
other than that, like this one's a little tough. I mean, I know where we feel about Tyson,
Sure.
or at least I know where you and I feel. AJ, you weren't here last week when we really kind of dug into Tyson, so I'd love to get your opinions on him.
Oh man, Tyson is the most divisive guy I've watched, man.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but it's I'm sure you guys said it. Like the highlights are high,
Mm-hmm.
but the consistency just doesn't seem to be there. And I, I don't know what it is, but I feel like he's just almost too expressive. Almost, he's
Mm.
like almost like really dynamic with his moves, which I think leads to a lot of inconsistencies. Like he can run one of the crispest routes you've ever seen, and then he just kind of takes that next play off. I don't know. I can't really explain it. I don't mean to be such a hater, but like
Mm.
Preach.
I mean, without the injury history, that's like a whole nother thing. Honestly, that might just play into it. Maybe that's
Yeah.
why he's so
Yeah.
scared to play the way that he can. But
Mm-hmm.
uh, like for me, the thing that sticks out the most is he must have a tough stomach because he's got no yak. Um, but it just the but the main thing that sticks out to me is the almost I don't want to be disrespectful, but like almost like a lack of toughness. I feel like
Mm.
there's a lot of times where he has a great catch point, goes up for the ball, he can time it, he can target it, and then he just kind of loses it on the way down. I feel like there's not a lot of it's just something that stuck out to me. It just feels like
Okay.
he can touch the ball first, but he doesn't bring it to the ground
Mm.
all the time. So that's the one thing. But other than that, like he's got a crazy ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what he does. I think he's very coach dependent on where he goes, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I feel you there. He is one of the guys that I do think has like wide receiver one upside. I don't know if he'll get there necessarily. And it's interesting you brought up the contested catches and like floating through the air because honestly, I think that's one of his, in my opinion, it's one of his most interesting highlights. And I was surprised that his catch rate was only 52% for his whole college career because there's times that he's just floating through the air on these jump
Yeah.
balls and it looks so pretty like so genuinely I think like some of the most beautiful looking jump balls I've ever seen and I guess I'm just not paying attention to the ones he doesn't come down and I'm just looking at the theatrics of it all but I mean he's just going up and snatching the ball away from defenders all the time and I think that has a lot to do with his body control that I
Yeah.
think he has. He's able to contort and like move and jump in certain ways that like maybe other guys necessarily can't, and it helps his highlight reels. I mean, he had a catch against Texas State where it literally seemed like he was floating in the air for like multiple seconds as he like was just jumping past 2 defenders and ended up catching the ball. So that is the great upside of him. But you're right. I mean that the only thing that's not divisive about Tyson is that he's divisive. You know, like
Yeah.
people.
One thing we can all
Absolutely.
agree on.
Yeah, like people, it's just it's so it's the consistency of it all. It just
Yeah.
seems like you said, like it just some plays he's the best player on the field and maybe in the country, and then other plays it's like where did he go?
Yeah. Sometimes you're like, holy shit, is that Garrett Wilson?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? But yeah.
Yeah, no, it's nuts, man. Sometimes though, I think the guy had a cocky style that was a little too risky, man.
Mm.
I thought this guy was pushing style points way too hard, and sometimes it messed it up. I couldn't believe he only had one drop credited to him
Mm.
in the 2025 season because I saw a ton of focus drops where like he probably should have caught the ball, but there was some traffic or some like float timed jump that
Oh yeah.
threw things off. There was a catch against Baylor, and I know I've brought this up before, but he was like smoking the guy. He was running away with it, and he slowed up with separation to jump to catch the ball. And in the time it took him to slow down so that he could jump, the corner caught him and broke up the pass. And
Mm.
it's like, dude, you were on trajectory to catch that ball in stride and run in for a touchdown. But you slowed up to jump because it looks way cooler doing that, I
Yeah.
think, right? But then there's other plays where he didn't do that, and you can see him catch the ball in stride. You don't see him catch the ball in stride. That's where you get no yak 4.3 yards after the catch per reception on this guy, which is a low number.
Hmm.
Um, because he wants it to be a one-handed at the waist catch or a flying leaping catch when that's cool, but it's not necessary. And like you pointed
Mm.
out, it's not really helping him out in the contested catch percentage category.
Yeah.
But dude, the start stop, change of direction, the body control, the ability to have that catch in your system, in your arsenal, pretty cool. But I thought it was too much look at me and not enough look at us.
Mm.
Kind of questioned the heart and how his style will translate, plus the versatility concerns and some issues with some physical coverage I saw.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm just shitting on this guy. Don't mean it like
I
that.
feel that, dude. That's
He could,
my comp
God,
is Stefan Diggs, but not the play style.
Oh, damn.
right? I wish that, yeah. And I know we just talked about Concepcion, who is heart on heart on heart. I wish you could just like mix these two up and
Mm.
then make two wide
Yeah.
receivers out of them. It'd be
Yeah.
amazing. That would
That's what
be
I'm saying. If
all
he
pro.
gets the right coach that like, puts those skills all together, man, he could be amazing. So
Yeah. I can see that for sure. But then you obviously the injury risk concern with how much time he's missed even through college, um, just toppled on top of everything we've been saying. It's like it's hard to really want to go after him. And then you guys brought it up multiple times, the yak of it all, like where he
Hmm.
he just doesn't really create that much. He also only had 13 missed tackles forced in his entire collegiate career,
Holy
which is
shit.
is
that's
Okay.
like
crazy.
a really low. Like he just doesn't do. He like, oh, here's this circus amazing catch, and
Uh-huh.
then that's it. Like I'm going
Dude, he
down.
gave me Keon Coleman vibes, dude, and it
Okay.
freaks
Oh,
me out. I'm
Oh,
damn.
so scared. And
Okay.
I
interesting.
want to point this out too. Okay. So I have all these seven wide receivers in the Elite Eight. As far as like total production single season, the number one guy is 2025 Lemon. He had
Mm,
1,156 yards. But number two is Tyson 2024 with 1,101 yard. But he only had 9 games this season. And as a result, just over 700 yards. But if you look at his efficiency numbers, his per game and per catch numbers, his efficiency was down this year prior to the injury. And so, and I'm watching this film and it's all like, it just kind of makes me feel like the dude's filling himself too hard here. But anyway, here I
I,
go. Did I say the
I,
dumpster was
I want to. I'll wrap it
getting
up
emptied
here
on him?
because,
All right.
but to connect to your dots here, I think that's what I was trying to say about him being a little dramatic. It's almost like he's overcompensating a
mm.
little bit with the theatrics. Like he's trying to put on the show a little bit, and I wonder if that has something to do with past injuries. Just kind of like
Potentially, yeah.
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 So
Well, I did want to bring up one thing about him. It's kind of a stat that I've been digging into a little more this off season, and it ties into Tyson. So if you guys will just indulge me for a second,
yeah,
Of course.
it's these numbers come from Joel Smythe over at Yahoo Sports. It's a pretty good, interesting article. But adjusted breakout age is something that has been really intriguing me about these wide receivers. It's basically, if you don't know what it is, it's essentially how young do these guys come into college and dominate? If you're an 18-year-old true freshman and you're out here playing like one of the big boys in college, there's a chance that you're going to do it at the NFL when you make that jump as well. For instance, of the top 20 wide receivers from last year in the NFL, all but two of them had a college breakout age of below 20.1.
Okay.
So everyone else, basically everybody on the list was 19 or younger. And that was guys like Drake London, Amon Ra, George Pickens, Stephon Diggs, Chris Olave, Jamar Chase. They were all lower than 19 or right at 19 or lower. And then like
Mm,
Puka, Devontae Adams, AJ Brown, JSN were between that 19.1 and 20 range.
Yep.
We're talking like massive studs here. And then when you look at the guys that are a bit older, the day one and two picks that had a breakout age of 21 and older, you're looking at guys like Xavier Legette, Kadarius Toney, Chase Claypool,
mm.
Amari Rogers, Cedric Tillman, Roman Wilson, Luke McCaffrey. Like the best names on that list were Brandon Ayuk and Christian Watson, who have like
Ooh.
middling results for fantasy. I mean, I love Christian Watson, but if he didn't get hurt all the time, he'd be great. I say all that to say the two guys in this class with the youngest breakout age are Casey and Jordan Tyson at 18.9 and 18.1 respectively. So that's something that like I am intrigued to see how that's going to turn out for a guy like Jordan Tyson. Because that number seems to be like leaning into him potentially showing up in the NFL and being the guy that we kind of see. So anyway, I just thought that was interesting. And those two guys are like the two guys we just talked about, really. So anyway, thanks Joel Smythe for
Yep.
that.
Thank you, Joel. I
Jeremy
will say
Bernard's
any
is
first round
22.
wide
So
receiver
Yeah.
that gets the, sorry,
Say
go ahead.
what?
And as I say, any first round wide receiver that gets a full glass of haterade from me usually turns into a stud as well. So
you're right.
put
That's
that
fair.
down.
Put that down, yeah. So anyway, Jordan Tyson, you are done, and Makai Lemon, you are moving on with that Western Championship crown. So let's head over to the Atlantic. Finally, not a 1 and 2 seed matchup. We've got the number 9 seed, Ted Hurst, wide receiver out of Georgia State, going up against the number 3 seed, Zachariah Branch, coming off his
Uh,
win over Skylar Bell last week, which was a heartbreaker for me. Um, I don't know, man. I went into this and I wrote Branch's name in as the winner, and I think I turned on it. So I need to hear what you guys think.
I personally have Hurst winning this one.
Okay, me too.
I also do, but
Okay,
I mean Antonio Williams should have beat out Branch anyway. If I'm
damn.
saying
Dude.
anything, but
Branch has had
Hey,
a hard.
can you just mute AJ's mic? What do we got? What are the controls here? Mute participant. Okay, here we go. We're good now.
Jeez. Branch has had a tough tournament here, though, for sure, going up against Antonio Williams and then Skylar Bell and now Ted Hurst. So yeah, I'm intrigued that we all went with Hurst. So I'll save my Hurst notes for the next episode, I guess. And we'll just talk about Branch. And I mean, we talked about him quite a bit last week in the Bell matchup, but it just bears repeating. Like he's so fun to watch. Like he's so fast, so explosive. It's like truly a marvel. He's a threat to score anytime he touches the ball, and he's an absolute demon with the ball in his hands. Like he catches everything short, which is a little concerning. I did notice that his A dot dropped when he transferred to Georgia this year from 6.7 to 3.6. So he's like not
oh,
like barely going past the line of scrimmage, but 78% of his career yardage came after the catch. With like 634 yards this season out of his 811 for the entire year was after the catch. So like he's an absolute demon when he has the ball in his hands. It just scares me because like that size, that A dot, and the yards after the catch lend to a guy that's like, oh, he's a slot gadget roll type guy that like I don't really want those guys in fantasy at the NFL level.
What, dude? 20 missed tackles forced?
Yeah, I mean,
What are we doing here? No, yes, yes, yes. I love this guy, dude. You're right. The A dot is crazy.
mm-mm.
And yeah, when you watch it, it's all like he's so fast. He's very fast, a
He's the
4.35.
fastest kid
Uh,
alive.
yeah, 177 pounds. He like jumps to catch every ball because he's too short to catch
Mm.
the regular height of a thrown football. And it's crazy ingrained that like even his touchdown celebration is just him jumping up in the air. It's beautiful. It's a wonderful thing, but his success is so bizarre. This guy has yards after the catch of 7.8 per reception. And on targets behind the line of scrimmage, his yards after the catch averaged 10.6.
Woof.
That means he averaged a first down basically every time he caught the ball behind the line of scrimmage.
That's
But
incredible.
it's wild. But if you look at like deep balls, his yards after the catch are 0.2, you know, and 4.2 on balls in the middle, medium depth. So he needed the space to get that speed going because he had the wiggle and weave to do kind of whatever he wanted. But if he was covered when the ball was thrown to him, it was a different story. So that all those, yeah, behind the line of scrimmage catch and run plays were just electric. And I think that could be worked in, but not in any kind of consistency that's going to produce us a monster. And I got to say, for comparing all seven of these elite eight wide receivers, as far as career totals, he had the lowest yards and the lowest touchdowns out of all these guys. Only nine scores in his collegiate career, 1,634 yards on 37 games. So while it was pretty cool and fun and explosive and dynamic, the volume was kind of lacking, and the scores for sure weren't necessarily there.
Yeah. Go ahead, AJ.
Oh, I, I might as well. Am I still muted, by the way, Daniel? No.
I can't hear
I don't know,
anything.
man. He's an electric guy. He's fun to watch. I will not argue with that. I just feel like I just don't think it can translate to the next level because he does. It feels like he doesn't have that deep threat capability. You got like a Deshaun Jackson who can be a game changer. He flies down the field. You got a Tyler Lockett. Like he's just a route specialist. He can get open. I just feel like Zachariah Branch just doesn't have enough in his arsenal to be impactful. I think as
Mm.
soon as he steps on the field, I think they're going to be like, hey, just bully him
Punt
at the line.
returns.
You know,
Yeah.
I think he could be a special teamer for sure. But I mean, like, I don't know, super tough guy. I saw he benched 20 reps at the combine, which is insane.
Damn. Yeah.
But so he's a tough guy. I just feel like speed is kind of 3 years ago. Everything's going 12 personnel. Everyone wants a slot receiver that can block, and I just feel like 5 years ago it would have been great. Take the top
Mm.
off, figure him out, scheme him in. It just feels like the NFL's going big right now, and I just don't think there's enough room for him in the NFL.
Hmm. I don't know that I would go that far. I do think
Whoa.
he'll suffer from a bit of the Zay Flowers syndrome where he's not going to get a lot of touchdowns and I think Zay Flowers is a little more complete in terms of route running and all that stuff, but I think if he goes to the right team and the right offense, I would really want him. But I think that's gonna be few and far between. I hate to always put people with Sean McVay, but it's gonna be somebody like that that can scheme this guy open and take advantage of his traits. I think he could be um, really successful. I think he has a very high ceiling in terms of pop weeks for sure. But yeah,
I
the
agree.
consistency of it all is going to be the issue. But
He's going
I,
to be a great decoy for sure.
yeah, that'll
Yeah.
help a
Yeah.
lot.
He's being comped to Wandale Robinson on Player Profiler. Did you guys know Wandale came out at 179, 5'8"?
I did not know that.
Yeah,
So
but he's a
that's,
bowling ball.
bro, I'm just saying, this is the vision they have. And I know you were a
Yeah,
big Wandale guy.
I was a huge Wandale guy. Damn it.
yeah. But
Everything's
honestly,
changed.
ironically, I could
3 years
see,
ago,
I could see that career trajectory for him because Wanda was good this year when Labors went down, but like he's been broadly fine other than that in the NFL. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's kind of exactly what Branch ends up being, with maybe just a little more like crazy long touchdowns because I
Yeah.
mean he just can scoot past everybody.
He's just gonna be Travion Henderson this year. He's gonna have
Mm,
3 touchdowns one game, and then
disappear. Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck me for that. But all right. So Zachariah Branch, you are done. Your Cinderella story of beating every receiver I love is now over.
Ended.
And Ted
Can't tell that
Hurst
to me.
is Ted Hurst, the farthest
That
small
Hurst
school
is.
standout ever, has just continued his run, taking the Atlantic Championship with
Cinderella
him.
story, baby.
Pretty crazy. So we'll go to the last matchup of the Elite Eight round here. It's
Okay.
over in the Midwest. It is Jeremiah Love, running back from Notre Dame, going up against the two-seeded Carnell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State. Um, I
Buckeyes.
mean, Tate definitely takes the L here, in my opinion. Um, and I like Tate. I don't think he would be the wide receiver one in other classes. I think he's like incredibly talented, but I don't think he has the high end traits or even the production that would like put him in the upper echelon of prospects like a Neighbors or a Harrison or Chase, somebody like that. But I do feel like he's getting a little of the Emeka Ibuka treatment from last year because he's not like the flashiest player, and he's on a huge team and he's kind of been in the local or in everyone's headspace for so long that people are just kind of over him. But I think he's so damn good everywhere. Like
Yep.
he's so good at everything, and specifically like the contested catch point, 69% for his entire career. Like pretty much if he goes up for the ball, coming down with it. And people got really upset about like the 40 at the combine, and I just don't really think it's a problem. First of all, I think he looks faster on the field than that 4.5 came out, and then also like CeeDee Lamb ran a 4.5. Nobody's worried about his speed. He's just so damn consistent. Zero drops this past season, only five for his entire career. He's not afraid of contact. There was a touchdown against Wisconsin he had where he just jumps up in between two defenders and get popped by both of them as he's going down with the ball. And everything looks effortless for him. Like sometimes, like I think one of his superpowers is the ball tracking ability. Like seems like he always knows where the ball is going to be and how to get there, and most importantly, how to make sure he gets there before the defender. Like there's a lot to like about Tate, and I do think he has wide receiver one upside. I just don't think he's like a slam dunk number one guy, especially like I see him comped or mocked to the Browns a lot, and like that would scare me. Just I mean, if he gets a even halfway decent quarterback that can pepper him with targets, I'm good with that. But like the Browns, I don't know about that. I
You'd
think
rather him go to the Panthers or something?
honestly, yeah,
Raiders, maybe?
yeah, Raiders would be cool.
Yeah.
Impossible.
Yeah,
Impossible.
that's not gonna happen, but
I think he's awesome, man.
yeah,
I mean, he's awesome, but he's not greatness. If I
yeah,
think that's what you were trying to say.
yeah.
I don't. He's like to me, he feels like a combination of like it's almost like Chris Godwin and Calvin Ridley
Mm,
almost, but he's taller. I I think he's awesome, man. And like you said, he runs a 4.5, but I don't know the strides, the way he gets. I don't know. I think he's competitive at every level
hmm.
of the defense, which is, I mean, just an offensive coordinator's dream, man. Like I he chews up the field. He can stack them. His quarterback's best friend. I mean, I'm just echoing what you said. I guess I just want to throw my comp out there because I was proud of it.
I like that
That's a good,
Godwin
yeah.
cross with Ridley, dude. That's sexy, man. But I mean, what you guys are saying though, like the speed control is what does it for me, right? That 40 time is whatever, but he knows how to rush at the last second to create
Mm,
separation, and he knows how to jump out after the catch to throw off a pursuit angle. Like he manipulates his speed and he just kind of messes with people, and he doesn't lose momentum at the catch point, so he can stride off pretty nicely. And he's got good releases, right? But the thing I like the most about him is he seemed like a powerful guy who was active in all parts of the play. He was doing a pretty good job blocking. And in the game versus Indiana, there was an interception thrown right next to him, and he like ran down and tackled a guy. And it's like, these kind of prima donna, wide receiver one type guys, they know how good they are. They don't always try. We talked about Jamar Chase's route running pretty aggressively on this podcast, and that was me for fun. Um, but you don't see that with Tate. What you see with Tate is a guy who is a teammate. He's not out there being number one because he wasn't number one, first of all. But he's got a lot of toughness to him and good quality consistency in his execution. And I think that he could really be like not the sexiest name in the NFL, but a number one for a team that they lean on in big spots. And that contested catch skill is what you need to maintain. That's the X factor for him to put it all together, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. That is honestly his superpower that will separate him. And I like what you said. Yeah,
17.2.
using that speed control to kind of get those last second yards and really change the outcome of the play. Like, yeah, I think whoever gets him is gonna really fall in love with him for sure. I just think like kind of just echoing what we've already said, but I just the high end traits that would make him like a production monster, I don't know are there for the NFL level, but I do think he's going to be very, very solid at worst.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're saying earlier, if this guy was my number two wide receiver in my team, I don't know if I'd be too upset about it.
No, yeah,
It's
For
not at all.
gonna
sure.
be
That
For
would be
sure.
fine.
like you
Yeah.
got a high
Yeah.
upside one, and then have him there at the two. You're just like, oh, dude,
Yeah.
just get me 16 points every week, and we're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. 100%.
17.2 yards per route or per reception. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's very good.
I
Very
mean, you
good.
get three catches, you're at six, 6 fantasy points. Get a touchdown in there, you're at 12.
There we
Bring
go.
it on.
Yep.
Keep it rolling.
No, I was talking House of Buckets rules. Sorry, 12, not 16. Inside joke.
All right. Well, that's not all that is not enough to beat Mr. Love. So Jeremiah Love moving on with the Midwest Championship in hand and Cardinal Tate staying here, which gives us a Final Four matchup set of Casey Concepcion
Okay.
going up against Ted Hurst, and then Jeremiah Love going up against Makai Lemon. So spicy,
Okay.
spicy stuff coming up,
Let's
and
go.
we will dive into that
Oh,
in our next episode. But until then, we've been Rough Draft Research. You've been the audience, and we'll see you next time.
goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
That's a good one.
I took a lease out on your heart.